Hi, hi. The camera's too high. There we go. That sun is very bright all of a sudden. It was overcast till a minute ago. But it's also my only heat source. So we're going to go ahead and leave the curtain open unless it super bothers anybody. So it's keeping me nice and toasty. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to my American viewers. I know I, for one, am going to spend a goodly portion of tomorrow in the kitchen. Right? But today we're back in our cozy little corner. You know, I can't seem to get my poor beleaguered bamboo on camera. There we go. Poor baby. Did not enjoy the greenhouse at all. The burns. You see the singe marks. It's so sad. But we're doing better in here. So we got Nicole to help to bring her in the house. But one, is better than half a dozen. I don't even know what this is. I need to look that up. Does anybody know what that is? It's gorgeous. I need to repot it. Hey, somebody. Happy Wednesday. How you doing? What's up? Did you see the video? That one was fun to make. Just sort of reading through that article and I thought I found a good one, to really sort of bring that topic all together. I have no idea who Alex Katzbreck is, the guy who wrote it. I have no idea who that person is, but... Well, hello again, and yes, I was there. Oh, yeah, right. How are you doing? I am on camera, babe. What are you... My husband is texting me. I am on camera, silly. So I'm sorry to hear about the cyclones. Damn, I really like your wallpaper. Oh, thank you. This is a curtain. These are curtains that I got at the thrift store. So, yeah. I was hoping for something green, but I really didn't see anything that was a nice green like I was hoping for. So we got blue. It matches the chair and half the time my outfit. So thank you. Yeah. If you see at the beginning, I gave you guys a little glimpse from outside the bubble, right? I'm literally just sitting in the shed. So. And I'm having fun with it, I thought it was black, but blue works. Yeah, it's like a navy blue, like a really dark blue. Yeah. The lighting's funny. But as I was saying a minute ago, it is also my heat. So we're going to go ahead and leave the window open, leave the curtain open. Even if it does sort of make me look, spooky. Like very, very, very overly blown out. That's the word I'm looking for. So anyway, I'm sorry about the cyclones. That's crazy. But what I was getting at is y'all have a normal week this week. Y'all don't have a big holiday tomorrow and you get to spend half the day, right? Canadians don't celebrate American Thanksgiving. You guys do it a different day, right? This is literally tomorrow. So I'm like half there already, and the fridge is full of stuff for it. And yeah. So yeah, those cyclones killed a few people. I'm sorry. That's terrible. Nobody knew, I hope. It's like nature's angry or something. I can't imagine why. No. Yeah, we have ours before Halloween. Yeah, I was going to say sometime in October. I think it's on the calendar. Whoops, love you. Nope, didn't know him. Yeah. Well, that's lucky. But ooh, nature will get you, is what I'm saying. That's for sure. Did you have a nice Thanksgiving? What's the story behind that? I mean, I don't know if you guys know our little Pilgrim and Indian story. That my son was retelling me the other day, and I just couldn't help. I couldn't help myself. I shouldn't have said this, but I'm like, yeah. And then, because we literally live in a place where everything is called Cherokee, and I swear to God, I've never met a Cherokee. That shit is just all around us every day, all the time. And so I had to mention that, yeah. And then, they were those natives were repaid for their kindness by being run out of their land, like seems like a lot of things will get us lately. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. It's like there's something going on with the climate. That's what I'm really getting at. It's like there's something going on with the climate or something. Have you heard anything? Oh, but this is my new favorite bauble. Look at that. It is an owl with a clock in it. Can you see that? Pretty neat, right? It's my new favorite thingy. Oh, you Americans name all your military vehicles by native tribes. Y'all wiped out. Yeah, no. It's like what they say about the suburbs, the place where they cut down all the trees and then name streets after them. Yeah. Absolutely. And yeah, around here we have that and Cherokee this and Cherokee that. And it's like, where are the Cherokee at? Let me see the owl again. I was busy typing. Okay. Ooh. Pretty neat, right? It's my new favorite thingy. Favorite little toy. But so do you guys have like a Thanksgiving myth, I guess essentially would be, what's the story behind the holiday up there? Yeah, you guys are still part of the Commonwealth, right? So it probably doesn't have the streak of national independence woven into it like ours does. I don't know. Everything in this country is about that. Everything in this country has I swear, it's just ridiculous. Freedom fries, right? Stuff that no one actually calls them that, but anymore. Like that was 20 years ago. But like it's that mindset, Where the Cherokee at? Last I heard, we're all eating turkey. Yeah, right. They're not invited anymore. I don't know. They don't seem to be around. And every time I mention that to somebody who's from here, they're like, "Oh yeah, my uncle's cousin, or this guy I work with, or blah blah blah." I'm like, okay. I personally, to my knowledge, have never met one. I've lived here for almost 10 years at this point. So it's not as if they're all over the place. We have Commonwealth that we stole from the natives. It's just as colonial. No. I know. I'm not saying it isn't, but like, I'm presuming that the story behind your Thanksgiving holiday is something different, rather than just assuming it's the same holiday because it has the same name. Do y'all do the Pilgrims and Indians and whatever too? Is that what it? I mean, if y'all had the same story, that would be kind of funny. Just like maybe set in a different location or something. I don't know. Nope. It's like the same. Wow. That's funny. It's weird, right? That's weird. Okay. Huh. Is it also always on a Thursday? Ours is always on a Thursday. Which is like, okay. Okay. Everybody always gets that Friday off. Well, a lot of people get that Friday off. It's also Black Friday. So you get that Friday off. Like if you have a corporate job, you get that Friday off so you can go shopping. It's fun stuff. I don't know. I'm literally planning on going to the grocery store like I always do on Friday, and wish me luck with that. Yeah, manifest destiny and residential schools and biological smallpox warfare and all that jazz. Yeah. So I didn't tell my son about all of that. He's 7, you know. But I couldn't. I don't know. Am I a bad parent? He's so young. I just couldn't let that lie. I couldn't let that myth stand without adding just a little bit of reality. Like, because it's either that or you stumble upon that information at some point later. It is the truth. You have. Sorry, you have what? Which thing did I say? He knew about. Oh, yeah. 3 years old. Right on. You stumbled upon that information, or who knew about it? Did they randomly censor another comment of yours? I'm gonna be so pissed. Because I have all that jazz, and then I have bahaha you have, and then I have he knew about it since the age of 3. Who knew about it at the age of 3? I'm not gonna pretend like there's not some context missing there. J'accuse YouTube. Oh my gosh. That shit's so ridiculous. I have. And then I have told my son all about the real history since he could speak and understand language. Nice. Okay. So you're even more hardcore than me, but I knew that. I'm fine with that. Plenty of people are more hardcore than me. I feel like that's not my strength. I don't know. Serious question. Like, what did you think of the delivery on the video? You know, was that engaging? Because that was literally just me talking to the camera. So what did you think of that? Was that, you know, seriously, like, be mean to me if you need to. Was it boring? You know, was I too rambly? Was it good? You know, I feel like it had a pretty good structure to it because I was reading that article. You know, it's not like I rambled off and forgot what I was talking about. But I also feel like it's a nice contrast to the one from 2 weeks ago that I'm not in at all. So, oh yeah, you got to get them before the propaganda does. I thought you were hilarious. Oh, okay, thanks. No, yeah, you got to get them before the propaganda does. No, yeah, I absolutely. Oh, there he is. Actually, speak of the devil. What is he doing out here? Oh, he's coming our way. Uh-oh. Your reactions were gold. Oh, sweet. Thank you. Okay, cool. So, you know, maybe we'll do more stuff like that in the future. Here we go. What's up?
How long do you have left?
An hour and 45 minutes. It just got started. Yeah. What are you doing?
Oh. Is this your last one?
I get 2 weeks. off starting this afternoon. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, man. We got all kinds of plans. What are you doing? Excuse you. Seriously. No, come on.
Can I have one?
No.
I'll leave you alone.
You need to leave me alone anyway.
Pretty please.
We have treats for tomorrow. You don't even like those things.
Because they have apple fruit
Yes, they do.
inside.
Because
Those
they're apple
don't.
fritters. No, yeah, they do. Because they're apple fritters.
You said they don't have apple stuff.
Not like the goo, no, but they do have apple chunks in them. Yeah, they do. If you're hungry, there are chicken nuggets and French fries in there you guys could make. Please stop knocking on the table.
I thought this was a sewing machine.
Well, it is. It's a table with a sewing machine in it.
Where?
It's folded down inside. Look, it's right there, that black thing. It folds out. Now go back in the house. What did I say? I need you to be a big guy today and go entertain yourself for 3 whole hours.
Apple.
Yes. Go on. Owen. 1, 2.
I wanna read the comment section.
No. Go back inside. It's cold out here.
Me angry at you.
Okay. Go bring angry at me in the house.
Oh, say
Can't you just hear it? Ah. That's why I never had to worry about him being fed trans bullshit. He went into kindergarten knowing the issues on that, and he'd report to me when they tried implementing trans ideology in the curriculum. Nice. We've sort of avoided a lot of that by sending ours to a Christian school. Which, our church, which we belonged to for years, and we did not send him there for Jesus. They have small class sizes and very good academic outcomes. So, namely that. And he, being the guy that he is, needs a lot of focused attention. So, like in a class of 35 kids, that kid was going to drown. So, you know. We're trying to look out for him is what it is. It's got nothing to do with the Jesus-y stuff. We counteract that actively. Just trying to do our best by him. You know how it is. There's something in my coffee. Gross. Except for the Jeebus stuff. No, right, yeah. We actively counter that at home. You know, and like I say, I work at the church. I go over there every week because I help out in the nursery there. I don't go to the sermon because I'm downstairs. So, and they pay me just a little bit to make sure that I show up. So I go. It's a community-based thing. It's a small town with no social clubs or bars even. So as a 30-something person, how exactly do you meet anyone? This was the conundrum. So we went to the church where all the Democrats are. Is what we ended up doing. They bar the doors from having me enter a church. See, if they knew me better. The thing is, I'm not actually a threat to anyone. Shocking. Witches don't actually eat babies. Fun fact. You know, it's a harmless mistake on their part. I'm good with it. It's nice to be included, right? It's nice to be included in things sometimes. And get to participate. Actually, this past week they were making Advent reads, and I had planned on bringing the kids and doing that. And last week was just like the one kid's been real sick, and I didn't want to bring the other one because the one kid's been real sick, and they share a bedroom. So like, let's bring a sick kid who potentially contagious to a building full of little old people. That sounds good. No. So I just didn't bring them with me last week. And there's going to be more people here this week because everybody's going to be on vacation. So. I don't know how not to speak my opinions. And I'm an atheist. I'd start an unwanted philosophical discussion. Oh no, see, that's the thing. I don't back away from philosophical discussions. But I definitely don't. I just like really don't feel like it's my responsibility to convince other people of stuff I can't prove. Right? Like, that's not my job. It's not my fucking job to be your guru. Right? Like, that's not my lot in life to go and tell people what to believe. But I am interested in what other people believe. Right? And this is a liberal environment where I can say my opinion as long as I don't come in and be like, well, I'm not Christian and I think blah, 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 blah. Just don't be confrontational about it. And we're all pretty well acquainted at this point. So they know me and they know that I'm going to have an opinion about something. But, I don't take communion either. So anybody who's paying any attention might not be surprised that I don't follow the gospel as, written or whatever. So I do speak my mind when the opportunity arrives, But it's not like it's a debate club. They have their sermon, we eat our little cake, and then everybody goes home. And usually the topic of conversation is, well, politics, which most people agree on over there. And just, whatever's going on in people's lives. It's actually kind of interesting, because when you go to a place where theoretically everybody agrees on the theology, there's not a whole lot of debate. It's not a theological debate club. It's a church, which is sort of the opposite of that. It's not my job to censor myself when people bring things up. I challenge everyone on everything. I don't discriminate. Hey, and that's you do you. I'm not trying to say that that's a wrong approach or something. This is my approach. And I'm just sort of a dork because I'm just happy to be there. I'm just happy to be included. It's not personal either. I just like challenging discussions all the time. No, and like I dig people like that. Okay, like I say, I enjoy hearing other people's opinions. I like listening to other people debate things. Goodness knows I do that on YouTube all the time, right? So, and I don't feel offended, obviously, by people like that. I'm just not that person. I'm just not that confrontational person. I don't know. I'm more of a give somebody enough rope to hang themselves with and then pull on it at the opportune moment. That's more my style. Which, it occurs to me that we might tag team things at some point and have some success with the different styles, right? I don't know. That might be fun. Oh, I just lit one, and then he came out here, so I had to put it out. Waste not, want not. Yeah, I don't know. I have this thing going in my life where I'm just happy to be included. I'm just happy to be here, which sounds so dorky. I know. It does make me less confrontational a lot of the time. Not all the time. Not all the time. Sometimes I can't help but be cranky because I'm a person. I'm a human being. But those days I just try and stay out of people's way, like if I can't see. I don't know. I don't mean to get preachy. you know? Because, like I say, I dig that approach. And there are definitely times I wish I was more organically confrontational when it's necessary, you know? Sometimes that shit's necessary. Shit, I even went on Amanda's show just because I love to discuss. I'll talk to anyone about anything. Yeah, see, that was epic. That was epic. And you're probably a lot more extroverted than me. We've probably been over this before. We're missing a couple of regular people here today. It's just you and me and somebody lurking, I think. Like, where's Bill? Where's Joe? I don't know. I don't think Joe liked my video last week. Did you see Menno's video about Caitlyn Jenner? Because I thought he made a really good point. I was kind of happy for a minute, I'll be honest, at the prospect of not having to fucking talk about trans people half the time anymore. I've done that topic to death. For me personally, it's been years and years on this, and I've done that topic to death. I've said everything I have to say, you know, I'm pretty sure on that topic. And I'd do it again, but she never tried talking to me after that. Gee, I wonder why. And like I say, it blew me away that they assumed I left when you did. Because they had no reason to believe that, like, they had no reason to not be like, hey, Red Mom, are you still there? Nothing. Okay. They immediately started talking about both of us behind our backs, making fun of us, which is like, oh, okay. It speaks to a deep level of sincere security, doesn't it? What was it talking about? Oh, I was talking about something else. Doggone it. Because they're dizzy. Yeah. Well, because apparently you and I are a monolith. That's how it struck me. Is it the opposition is a monolith and we're not actually individuals, so you don't need to worry. That's the only way I could take that. I'm not sure what else to make of that. That's weird. But, you know, I guess if your opposition is a monolith in your mind, you don't have to worry about them running around in different directions and being in more than one place at the same time. I don't know. I remember what I was going on about a minute ago. I'll get back to that. I do not remember what the fuck I was talking about. Oh, we can talk about the book. I know you're not really a writer, but like, okay, seriously, since it's just you and me, I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your level of interest in the book? Because like, if you're not interested in that, we can talk politics or whatever instead. Oh, I wasn't there for her audience. I know. I never looked at their comments then or after. They're irrelevant to a point that their existence is arbitrary. No, I know. I was in the chat, so they were beating up on me. And then it was just funny because I laughed so hard. Because they went from teasing me and messing with me to behaving as if I were not there. Just like that when you left. What? Like, what? As long as I stayed quiet, they didn't know I was there. They didn't even suspect, apparently. It's very strange. I just wanted to discuss with her. Yeah, right. And I'm glad you had a good time. I really just sort of, I don't know. I look at someone like that and I sort of see a blank wall. You know, like there is no door there. So what am I doing? I mean, do you feel that what do you feel was accomplished by that? Was it just for yucks? Was it just for the lulz? Because that's fun. That would be pretty funny. feel like I should have something to do instead of just babble, you know? Or sit here and wait for you to respond. I mean, there is one thing I could do. Lord Enix, what kind of book you writing? Oh, Victorian historical fiction with witches. So kind of historical fiction fantasy sort of thing. And I'm working on the second draft right now. I am about a third. I'm almost done with the first third of the first. It's a trilogy. And I'm almost done with the first third of the first book. So I'm hoping to get that done by the end of the year and maybe, read it, put it up on the channel. In case anybody's interested. I don't know if I'm actually going to make it by the end of the year, but it's going to be close. It's going to be close. So I'm excited about that. Do you read? Do you write? Maybe? I've had a couple writers come through here before. I don't know. I've been doing this for so long at this point that there's been this sort of churn where, people will be regulars for a while and then I won't see them anymore for a while. And sometimes people come back and sometimes they don't. But yeah, it wraps up a lot of the themes from cool. I'm not a writer, but I have writing friends. Oh, right on. What kind of stuff do they do? I don't have a whole lot of writing friends. My son does some. He's 16. I'm just mainly a mom. That's the name of the channel. She didn't actually want me on. She wanted me to flake out. Oh, so she can try to legitimize her idea that feminists run from anyone who... Oh. I get it. Okay. Oh. Now I wonder if I should have done it. See, I just really didn't need that right then. She picked a rough time for me, is what it was. That month or two was really just insane. My sister had just moved in. There was some other stuff going on in the house. And that school had just started. And like that time of the year was just insane for me. Oh, well. Now it feels kind of like it might have been a lull, but a lark. Might have been funny, but hey. Most do poems, some do novels. I'll have to ask what genre. Oh, right on. I can't. I journal, but like poetry is one of those things I admire because I think my poetry is terrible. I do prose, Descriptive prose is really where I think my skill set is. I hope. I have never published. I have a blog, that's much more kind of stream of consciousness or like op-ed kind of stuff. Which is brazenshe.com if anyone's interested in that. I've not posted there in a long time because I've been doing this instead. But yeah, the thing is 40,000 and something words. And last week, oh my God. Okay. So I figured out a long-standing problem, which is that the software and the computer do not seem to get along. That's what it is. I thought it was the software being glitchy, but apparently it is the software and the computer do not get along. Or perhaps the file is too big for the computer to like at this point because the file is 130 pages. Okay. And I had highlighted everything because I was trying to make the font match because it likes to randomly change my font. And that's what I'm saying. It's just been glitchy for ages. And I did not hit the delete key. Perhaps I accidentally hit the space bar, or I don't know. But all of a sudden I'm sitting there looking at a blank page 1 of 1, 0 words. I'm like, excuse you. Oh my God, you guys, I almost fell over dead. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control. I don't care if I lose the whole paragraph. Control Z, Control Z, you know. Oh my God. So I turned around to my husband's work computer and booted that bitch up, which is a beast, right? And I had time to log into boot up the computer, log into it, log into my Chrome, bring up the OneDrive, log into the OneDrive, and bring up the file before the laptop could catch its breath. And that big computer was like, handle this shit with no problem. And there it was, by the way. I got it back. Otherwise, I'd start the story with that, right? But like, here's how I lost my book, right? Like, no. But sweet mercy. That was about 5 solid minutes of me just trying not to shit my pants. Like, and so I guess I'm going to do the writing on the big computer because it handled that big file. No problem. That's okay. That's why I'm here. I'm built different that way. I'm always up for a conversation against opposing positions, which is cool. I guess we need people like you in the world, right? I read. Can't write shit, even though I always have a lot to say. Wish I could write. That's a great talent. I'll be the first one to read your book when you're done. Oh, sweet, 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 sweet. So, are you excited about the potential of me maybe reading the first 2 chapters in a video, maybe in January? Realistically, I would love to do that for Christmas or New Year's, but realistically, probably January. Because I'd love some real feedback, and I'd love to be able to, like, discuss any of this with anyone, you know, without having to, totally. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Mwah, love it, love it, love it. That's at least 2 people who I know are interested in that. That's great. That's enough. I mean, 1 was enough, because I was planning on doing it anyway. Belle was saying that would be something of interest, because we talked about it. I mean, what am I not going to talk about it, you know? I don't know. I had this epiphany. You know me, I'll be honest. Yes, please do. Please do. It is the only kind of feedback that's helpful at this point. Don't kiss my ass. Okay. That is the whole point. This is the juncture where if I need to make big adjustments, I can do that now. Okay. Because I know what I'm going for. And if I fail to achieve that, then I can, you know, see how I can adjust things. The plot, however, is non-negotiable. Like, I'm dreading the possibility of sending this into some editor and having them send back things being like, well, you like all this and this and this, but we were wondering we could tweak this and change that. It's like, no. What is it, baby? What? Yeah. We'll go tell him if I come in there and he's not hanging out with you, he's gonna be in trouble. Go play Uno. Go on.
We did that.
Okay, we'll go do something else then. Go tell him he knows what I said and he's gonna be in trouble. Because you told on him. So he better get his act together.
Could you help?
No, I can't come in the house right now, boo-boo.
Please.
No, that's the whole point of this.
It's difficult.
I know. I know it is. It's good to practice these things, though. Okay?
You can.
Yes, you can.
Oop and move.
Yeah, and you're going to go in the house and practice it right now, or you're going to be in trouble too. Neither of you guys are listening to me. You're being as bad as he is.
Could you cut that out of your video?
No, I am live, boo. I'm live right now. Everyone is seeing this right now.
Oh.
Skedaddle.
No, stop.
Go in the house. One.
The dog just said no.
Yeah, dogs bark. Go in the house. The kids out here with no shoes on. Self-publish first. The new method for publishers is to pick up an indie self-published book and redistribute it without changing anything. No edits or agents. Huh. Yeah. I feel like I'm a couple years away from really looking into that, but that's a good tip. I'm definitely, that's the question of which way to go with that. And self-publish is apparently a whole lot more legitimate than it was a decade ago, so that's cool. A whole lot more control over, because like, I don't want, if you'll forgive me, some chick on the cover, I hate that. Where it's like some dramatic picture of a woman and that's the cover. And it's like, and it's not even necessarily the character. And like, it's because that way they don't have to spend a dime on authors, right? I'm not trying to get rich. That's not the point of this venture. It would be nice to make some money from sales. It really, really would. Goodness knows we could use it. And it would be very validating. But no, I want people to read the damn thing. Cheesy cringe cover. Yeah. Am I doing a pen name? No, I wasn't planning on it. I just can use my real name. But with like initials, okay, because my first name is Sarah. Like Sarah J. Maas, like blah, blah, blah. There's at least 2 other like pulpy romantic authors out there with the name Sarah. And I'm just like, and initials it is. All right. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that association because romantasy, it's not. Okay. There are a couple of relations. It's this character's entire life, okay? So it is very centered on the one main character. And you could theoretically put her on the cover, but that's not what I want to do. I want to make it look like an old, spooky, fun-looking book. Bexwald Arcana is the title. Arcana's in the title. I want to make it look like something arcane. That's my thought with that. So it'll stand out a little bit, right? And kind of spark that little interest of, ooh, what's that? I want it to be one of those. Before you even see the title or the cover, just the spine. I'm thinking maybe like the way they used to do with the hatches across it. And obviously you could go very deep into that if you would, depending on how you want to bind it and whatever, you could go very deep into that. But again, we're ways from that, unfortunately. But no, I was going to use my own name because, well, and also I have this, my last name is something my husband invented before we got married. So it is what you might call uncommon. So anyone looking for me is going to find me, right? They're romantasy, lol. You want to make sure to cut any association between you and romantasy, right? Yeah. No, I really do. And it's not fair. Like, there are 3 or 4 of them that have the same first name as me. It's, Sarah, middle initial, last name. And I'm just like, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that now. Can't do that. Can't do that format. We're going to have to do the first initials thing. That's okay. It's still my name. And I was kind of thinking that anyway. If only because, unfortunately, having a woman's name on the cover is gonna bias people, apparently. But no, there's some romance. It's this person's entire life story, right? So there's some romance in there. There's some adventure in there, right? But there's no rape. There's no rape. Nobody gets raped ever. There's none of that. Which apparently is another thing that makes it not a romantasy. Thanks a lot of other Sarahs. Right now, right? So unfair. So unfair. I do like my name, though. It's very classic, right? You know, a good, strong, classic woman's name. I'm fine with it. I don't know what their deal is. Losers. I'm so glad you guys are down for talking about the book, though, because I've had about all the Monty Khalif I can handle this week. But yeah, that's the one thing I will say. Spoiler alert, there's no rape in my book. None of that. There's none of that. My name, which I'm not providing here, means pure. Oh, that's funny. I'm so sorry. Did that give you a chip on your shoulder growing up? Oh, that's okay. I was told all my life that Sarah means princess. And then, you know, my middle name is Marie. Pure as the driven snow. Ah, yeah. Purely confrontational. Yeah. So my middle name is Marie, which means bitterness. So, princess bitterness. Hurrah! Joy, just wonderful, right? Maybe that does go with my theory of, you know, I think people tend to sort of be like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to be like this instead, you know, if their name is very prescriptive. And, you know, it goes back to what I was saying about, I'm just glad to be here. You know, I don't feel especially bitter about most things. I don't tend to carry a lot of bitterness. I don't like it. It's gross. Yucky. It's my middle name, so I'm pure bitterness. Facts. Yeah, it's a pretty common one. Yeah, it was my aunt's. So, she's still alive? No, and it's funny because there are 3 points to this little humorous anecdote. The first one being that my mother's name is very uncommon, especially in her generation. So she grew up as always the only one. And she hates that. Fact 2, she gave me a name that she had never met anyone with. Was she attempting to do the same to me? I do not know. But the point 3 voids that entirely because it was actually like number 3 in the country the year I was born. So it doesn't matter. There was always at least one other one in my grade. It's like my mother knew me right from the go. Oh, that's kind of sweet, actually. That's kind of sweet, actually. I don't know, and I need to look into this again. But apparently, there's 2 Sarahs, right? There's one with an H, one without. And Sarah without the H, apparently in the Bible, like, you know, Sarah's the wife of Abraham, and like God gives her a baby or something. Like I say, I need to go refamiliarize myself with that story because Bible. And also an H. So with the baby comes an H. With the H, it means mother of races. Because the Abrahamic religions should actually be called the Saraic religions. Right? Isaac and Abraham or whoever were her sons, right? Like, damn, that sucks. Mine's not so common. I don't think I've ever met someone with my name in real life. Oh, interesting. I mean, in a way, that's nice. Right? I don't know. I also have a bone to pick with anyone called Aaron, Tara, or Kara, because at a party, we are all the same person. Weird. The mother of races thing, I thought that was weird. And guess what? I have 2 sons who are very different from one another, and that cracks me up whenever it crosses my mind. Yeah. Yeah. You know, the what is it? The tribes of Judea or whatever. Again, it's Old Testament lore. I'm not exactly an expert on Old Testament lore. You'd think I'd know this one, and I should know it better. But yeah, I stumbled upon that a few years ago, and I was like, So it's mother of races, bitterness. Yikes. 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 And I considered dropping that middle name and changing it to something nicer when I got married, but you know. M as a middle initial is fine. It's fine. It's not like I ever have to use it for anything. So this lady at church came up to me. Her name is Sarah too. And she's old enough to be my mom at least. But, she says so. She goes, how does it feel to be a princess? This was literally last week. And it took everything within me not to correct her because I think it's super interesting. But A, I'm standing in a church, so she probably, I don't know, for all I know, knows the story better than I do. B, I found pride in the meaning of my name today, so yeah. I'm so not a Sarah. Not a princess? Yeah. No, me neither. Me neither. That always struck me as weird. And those poor girls with no H walking through life as 4-letter words, it's just such a shame. Such a shame. And the lady at church did say, I said that to her, and she goes, yeah, and with the tall letter at the end and the tall letter at the beginning, the R in the middle is symmetrical. Exactly. It's much more attractive that way. Apologies to anyone without the H. Whoever sees this, love to you. I get your name on my letters fairly often. Or like my ex's grandmother, who I dated that man for 7 years, and she, I swear to God, obstinately misspelled my name at every opportunity. She was a little Marie. Yeah. I mean, I guess I can name drop her. Hers was fun. Her name was Enid. I don't know what that means. But is there a better old lady name you ever heard? I mean, For all I know, she's still out there. She'd be 95 by now. Whatever. It's not like I want to go on about my ex's grandmother. Obviously, I have stories, but yeah, it's all in the past. Truly. It was so hilarious. I will say this. We broke up and I got together with my husband, and I swear, not even a month later, he was dating his high school crush. So, I set that man free. And I've not heard from him since. You could say it worked out. I think so. I like to think that worked out. And back when I was still on Facebook, I noticed they had a kid right around the same time we did. So it was so adorable. It's a cute story, really. The first time he and I broke up, it was really boring too, because I was going to go to school in Florida and he didn't want to go with me, so we didn't want to do a long distance, so we broke up. Yeah, that was like the thing that guy and I were best at, was breaking up. He had an odd name too, actually, now I think on it. And I was already acquainted with someone by the same name, and it's rare enough that surprised him. No one had ever said that to him before. But, I grew up in some weird circles. It was the kid of one of my dad's friends. Not my ex, the other guy I knew with that name. I'm not sure why. His brother's name was Josh. Which, if anybody's familiar with millennials, knows every third guy is named Josh. So you have the older brother with the super rare name and the younger brother with the super generic name. And it's okay. Interesting choice. That's common AF. Right, yeah. Like, his name is so rare. You might be able to go look him up if I told you his first name. And, based on the few details you know about me. So I'm not even going to say it. It's that rare. Just because, I don't know. That seems kind of... I don't know. Does anyone give a fuck? Who's going to go harass that guy? I'm not certainly telling anybody to. Like I say, our breakup was actually kind of sweet. Like, yeah, his name is Corwin. Like Corbin, like from The Fifth Element, but with a W in the middle. Because I shouldn't. I don't care. Don't harass the man. Like I say, I have no reason to talk to him. I'm sure he's off doing, the same assholery. I'm sure he's still a big Elon Musk fan, so that's fun. It's kind of crazy to think how long ago all that was now. I moved down here. It's going to be 10 years coming up in June. Did you just spill the beans? Bahaha. Yeah. Be nice now. That sums him up then. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And that was all in the past, Thank goodness. Exes are exes for reasons, right? That's what I always say. We're an hour in. Oh, 30 people who still watch these. Thank you. You guys are my core. And thank you, Kid Cat, for hanging out with me. Seriously, I'd be sitting here talking to myself, I guess. I don't know. There's a couple other people hanging out. Just nobody's really checked in. Elon Musk fanboys are a special kind of fun. Yeah, right. Oh, and I'll tell you, the one thing I do miss about that guy is he was so addicted to the internet that he always knew, like, whatever the next big cultural and tech thing was going to be, he was talking about it before anybody else was. And he did that, for years. I watched him do that for years. So that was interesting. And it kind of goes into the category of, I've talked about this before. My mom's a programmer. I've known so many engineers and programmers and tech people that I know more about how computers work than the average bear, even though I do not do any of that. And I did lose a lot. I cut contact with a lot of those people when I moved down here because, well, shockingly, a lot of them are not very nice. Shocking, I know. Meh, you just wanted to listen or read Whitney Webb, and you got the war to ground. You got ear to ground. Right. Have you told me about her before? I think you have. No, and that's the thing is I can't stand to have my ear to the ground anymore. I can't deal with every little thing that comes up. It drives me absolutely insane. I have to wait for the big things. Or, focus on particular niches. Otherwise the overload gets bad. And, I do things like this to try and socialize. Get a feel for what's going on in the world that way a little bit. That's funny. I said something about a couple people lurking and then a couple people left. That's why I'm insane. You'd become pure bitterness like me. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And I don't know. I'm trying to write a book, which is this optimistic endeavor, right? That's just such an optimistic endeavor. Oh, thankfully I'm very motivated about it, so I'm not worried about not finishing it, I watch pulling back, not a bad thing. People find themselves in regression sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. I was like that for a while. I'm better now. But yeah, after Donald Trump's first presidential term, I was just out for like a year. Burnt out. Yeah. And so, to come back, I've had to be focused about it. Anyway, something about socializing, I was saying. So anyway, Warlord, you're new to the channel. Did you see the video? What's your... Are you a feminist? What's your affiliation? Are you, American even? So, couple of weeks, I have really kind of the big pivot that I'm thinking of it as sort of the big pivot moving into next year in reaction to the political shift that's going on, not just here in the States, obviously. Well, since Biden approved long-range missiles and mines for Ukraine to use, you may not have to worry about finishing your book or anything else for that matter. Yeah, right. Thanks for that. Yeah, no, yeah. Obviously, we have to carry on as if life is going to continue. Really just torpedoed my line of thought there. Good job. Oh. A recent one? The video? Oh, I put up one every Wednesday, so I had one out this morning, and then I do this live stream here in support of it, and just as a weekly hangout, check in with everybody. And like I say, to try and give myself something of the social life, because I had to go to a church to find people to talk to. We live in a small town. I have, well, 2 kids still living at home. We have 4. We have 2 still living at home. And it's a busy life. I don't get out much anyway. Always here for the black pilling. Yes, thank you. And I have to push back against that. I have plans, girlfriend. I'm in the States. Enjoy your views on the culture of things. Oh, right on. Cheers to that. But so yeah, apparently a lot of the people who are involved in the group coming to power in the next couple of months are bald-faced Christian nationalists. So I'll have to watch today's video soon. Oh yeah, please do. It's about Imani Khalif and the Olympic thing, which it was. I'll be honest, essentially house cleaning, because I did come down wrong on that a few months ago, and I wanted to address that. And it being the day before Thanksgiving, I kind of figured nobody's going to see this video, so or few people are going to see this one. All right, like I say, I'm really looking to 2 weeks from now. I'm going to be, you guys. There's a group of Christian nationalists who've bought up 500 acres in the middle of this state, right outside this little town that they have their eye on as like the beacon of their movement. Like their goal is to turn Tennessee into the Christian nationalist state, essentially. So interesting username, yeah. True. And I'm going to use that as a jumping off, but they literally talk about they're coming for college education. The biggest enemy, their biggest enemy, in their own words, is college-educated white women. And I'm just like, well, all right, game on. This place is 2 hours from here, okay? Kind of like the Mormons, yeah. Good to have goals, yeah. It's nice for me in that they have set themselves up in opposition to me. They almost couldn't have been more thorough about it. So obviously I need to address that. And the step from that to the federal is, half a step, right? It's so clear. These people are obviously the enemy of feminism, right? And egalitarianism and all that good stuff that I love, right? So I found a nice news report about them, and I'm going to use that as the backbone of, a response to all that stuff. And, clarifying the credo of the channel moving forwards, right? So that's my goal for the next couple weeks, is putting that together. And I'm actually scheduled to have a video out on Christmas. I realize Christmas is a Wednesday this year, so is it going to be a reading of the book? Probably not. I'm probably not going to get it done by then, sadly. So, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do, like, literally for Christmas. It could be fun, though, right? Could come up with something fun. I don't know. What do you guys think? Want to fly me in? Let me go talk to them. I'll go knocking on their door and ask them if they heard the good word. Not of Jeebus, but from me. That would be amazing. They'd probably just shoot you and bury you in the woods. I don't know if you're familiar with Middle Tennessee, but I want to say that Smoky Mountain National Park is the one with the most disappearances every year. For a reason, right? So that would be amazing, and we could go in with a camera, and then maybe they wouldn't shoot us. I don't know. That's the thing around here is they have concealed carry. Okay, so you have to have in the back of your mind that any individual you're dealing with might have a gun in their purse, in their pocket at any given time. So yeah, just a consideration that I personally would make before just charging in there. And like they didn't even want to. It's so funny because on the one hand you have these two dudes with their podcast who are like, "We're gonna form a Christian nationalist town." Nah, I could appear convertible. My white feminine nature and all, right? Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, it must be terrifying for those guys, right? If college educated white women are their biggest enemy, meanwhile, I'm sure regular white women are an interest of theirs, right? But how do you tell? Oh my goodness. You could be talking to some white woman, and not even know that she's college educated. How frightening that must be. Uh, oh. I don't know. They probably think there's some kind of a tell, right? They probably have some way to know just from looking at somebody. I don't know. I don't know. Plus, who says I don't also conceal carry my damn self? I come to things prepared. I mean, yeah. For a shootout, Old West style. Oh man. Oh man. See, and I don't know. I'm sort of conflicted on that point because might makes right should not be. That's the whole point of community and society is that we're trying to counteract that, right? It's why you care for little children and stuff because like might makes right is wrong. That's not true, but it can be, effectively true. And I'm also of the opinion that like good people lose because bad people cheat. Right. So just because something isn't super ethical doesn't mean it should be off the table. Somebody was saying that the other day about I think that was Jon Stewart. About the Supreme Court appointments, right? And how Obama wanted to appoint somebody, and the Republicans were all like, "Oh no, it's within a year before the election. We shouldn't do that." And the Democrats were all like, we've never heard of that rule, but okay, I guess." And then when the time came for Trump to appoint somebody, he was totally fine with doing that, like a month out from the election or something. They did not give a fuck. And he made the argument that the right has been taking advantage of loopholes while the left has been bitching about the state of things, and it's just like should not be. But defense is not offense. It's an act of love to defend yourself and those who need defense. Yeah. Thank you. I agree with that. So, I take it actually as a sort of a perverse point of pride that I'm not perfectly settled philosophically on everything. That being one of them. Obviously, self-defense. Good. But, like, maybe this is me being spoiled and this is my privilege to ask, why should you have to defend yourself in your daily life like that? Holy crap. What sort of world do we live? What sort of world have we built? Hey, Joe, how you doing? Hey, kids, I've been absent. I'm so sorry. I've been missing you. Hey, yeah, I missed you too. I saw your comment on last week's video. I got the impression you didn't like it. About, how are we supposed to deal with this when there's people out there getting away with pretending to be women, basically. And I see your point. And I started to say this earlier, actually. I was kind of happy about the idea of just not having to talk about trans people half the time anymore. But no, if you saw Menno's video, he made a really good point. Which is that the right is actually just ripe pickings for those people. And conservatism being ascendant does not solve that problem. I don't know. How you been, Joe? Happy Thanksgiving. Have you seen those in his cabinet? Bahaha, status quo, gonna status quo. Man, or something. I have not followed that too closely because it's like, another punch to the gut. And we'll see how things shake out and who actually gets in there and how long they stay. The man has a track record of almost a revolving door of cabinet members and advisors and friends and whatever and hangers on. So, good, busy. Yeah, right on. If you haven't checked out the leopards eating their faces Reddit, it's fabulous. I remember that. Weird story. Tried to log back into my Reddit and somehow got logged into someone else's Reddit, which is a different username I've never heard of, but the account is 4 years old, okay? So this is not something that I spontaneously generated by accident when I was trying to log in. So I know, weird, right? I'm really not sure what to do with that. And I'm going to have to recreate the email that I had used originally. That didn't even occur to me days ago. When I was fiddling with it, that didn't even occur to me because Gmail decided that my junk email, I didn't log into it often enough, apparently. So they decided I didn't need it anymore. So they just destroyed it. They just erased it. So in order to get back into that account, I'm going to have to recreate the email that I had for it. But that account is like 11 or 12 years old at this point. Oh, at least. So, if I'm going to get back on Reddit, I'd like to use my account. Not to mention I'm logged into someone else's Reddit account. Some random other person, and I do not know how that happened. I probably should log out of it, it occurs to me. I just sort of left it alone because it was so weird. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, I remember the leopards eating my face. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of that going on, isn't there? I hear it's already started. Right? The term trade war has been used. And we're not even out of the lame duck period yet. Oh, it's such fun. And it's so funny because things are finally improving around here a little bit, and it's just gonna get eaten up by tariff prices, right? Oh. I wrote a blog post about this, actually. I mentioned the blog earlier. brazenshe.com, if anybody's interested in that. I haven't posted in a while because I've been making YouTube instead, but I wrote a blog post about elder millennials and how we've just been watching the world end over and over and over again for what feels like ever since high school, right? And I just, for me, it was really Columbine was really the beginning. That was the first big bad nasty thing. But it goes back even further than that, really, because there was the Oklahoma. One of my earliest memories is watching the news about the Oklahoma City bombing. My earliest memories of the news, of like current events. Oh yeah, I think I mentioned this last time. Prepare for austerity up the wazoo now. Oh yeah, leopards eating faces. Oh girl, I don't even remember where this meme comes from, but it's people who keep a leopard as a pet, and then the leopard attacks them, and they're just shocked. It's that idea. I never thought the leopard would eat my face, Or maybe you keep the pet leopard because you think it's going to eat that guy's face. And then it eats both of you, because it's a fucking leopard. I have a delusional ex-friend who thought that her and her disabled son would finally get benefits because Trump was going to get rid of all the illegal aliens taking it all. I should be still carrying what with the leopards. I had to inform that Republicans are trying to kill all those programs. Yes. My mother-in-law is beside herself because her entire income is veterans benefits and Social Security. So, she's going to go from a living wage to nothing. Which, frankly, if they do that to half the senior citizens of this country, I don't know that they're going to get away with it without some sort of political fallout from that. Because that sounds batshit. You're going to take away the income of everybody over 60? Are you fucking serious? Especially out here in rural middle America, there's a goodly percentage of the population that is their income. I'm on a fixed income, blah, blah, blah. You hear that in the checkout line. Okay. Yep, all gone. They will. They are implementing the changes that Milei made in Argentina. Nice. I used to work for Medicare when Obama was president, and people were terrified that because he was a socialist, he was going to take away their Medicare. They won't be able to do it. That doesn't even make sense, though. That hurts my heart. Because he's a socialist, he's going to take away the social program? That doesn't even make sense. Baby boy, I have half an hour. What is it? What?
I'm staying here.
No. I love you. I have half an hour. Go back in the house.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wait.
And then after lunch, we're going to build our eagle. What?
Cold.
Okay. Obama is socialist? No, but if he were, the idea that he was going to take away social programs would be ridiculous. Like the argument, the problem there doesn't make any sense. Go inside, tell your brother I'm super angry. And if he doesn't come and play with you, or at least keep you company, he doesn't have to play with you. Well, he should be in the room.
He is.
Oh, well then what are you complaining about? Go play, go read. I have half an hour. What? Okay. I will look at it when I come inside. Half an hour.
But I found a thing to say that.
I will come and deal with it when I'm done.
What?
Yeah. Go back in the house.
Let's go.
I don't know. 1.
6 people?
2. Yeah, 6 people are watching you not listen to me. Go back in the house. Bye. See you in half an hour.
What do I say?
Yes. Don't come back over here. It took you so long to get to the door. What is it?
Has anybody gotten about me?
No, not yet.
Oh.
Go in the house.
Please, somebody.
Yeah, you're starving for attention, I'm sure. Go in the house.
Just say my name.
It is cold out here and you have no shoes on. Go in the house. Excuse you? Do you want to get in trouble? That's what I thought. Where were we? I know it was just funny to hear. It's a secret. Sometimes I'm half convinced. Oh, hey, radiated. I'm half convinced that there are two different versions of reality that only interact when lefties and rightoids talk to each other. It's crazy if I know what people believe. Yeah. I'm a redhead. He can't help it. I know. He's adorable. And if I wanted to make one of those channels, I have all the material I could possibly want, right? He is adorable and he is a ham. And he would sing and dance for y'all all day and all night. But, like Travis the Chimp. What? Oh. But yeah, that's not what this channel is about. I'm not here to exploit my kid. Oh my God. I have a grandson like that. He's so much better than half the kids on YouTube. I would never put him online. Right. Right. He wants me to. He's asked me why. He can't make his own. And I'm just like, because you're a kid and you should get to have a childhood away from cameras. And he does not understand, of course. He does not understand what I'm... No. No. That is not why we're here, right? My 9-year-old grandson doesn't understand why he can't either yet. Right. And my 16-year-old didn't understand when he was 10 either. I mean, shit. It looked less viable then, you know? And at this point, he's almost 17. If he wanted to start a YouTube channel, I'd be much more supportive of that now. But, yeah, no, kids don't need... No. And hood. A good one. And production schedules don't really mesh very well. So that's just a fucking nightmare, no matter how you slice it, no matter what your medium is. And especially to do that to your own children in the hopes of a big payday, you know, you don't even have like a fucking contract or anything like that. You knew that wasn't going to go well, right? You knew there was something funny going on there. Kids are literally growing up believing they're going to make a career on social media in one way or another. It's like kids who used to think they're going to be football stars, which, you know what? That's actually one reason that I keep on doing this, even though it's not really making me a lot of money. They're watching me grind at this, right? And it is a grind. So I don't think my kids are going to grow up with that idea. I don't think they do. Like I say, my 16-year-old does not have that interest anymore. I think I'm demonstrating that just by doing it, that it's harder than it looks from the outside. But also you have life experience and things to build a channel on, right? Kids are going to build a channel on grown-ups watching them, which is creepy. You know, I hadn't thought of it that way. But yeah, that's a good point. Ugh. They just don't need to be exposed to the wider world, I don't think. You shouldn't, be forced to be exposed to I don't think it's good for you anyway, to be exposed to the wider world like that when you're still too young to understand the vast majority of it. It's overwhelming. There's no way it's not. It's overwhelming as an adult half the time. And yeah, I don't know what I would like. See, I wouldn't have wanted to do this 20 years ago. That's a good point. Like, what the fuck would would I have even, you know, right. Ugh. Once upon a time, I was a ginger kid. They can't help themselves vis-a-vis getting into trouble. Hey. Oh, if I took my hat off, you probably still couldn't see my roots. They're pretty short right now. But I naturally look just like that. Okay, this is for the camera because, well, frankly, I was real tired of having to deal with that stereotype. Sorry, Travis the chimp, leopards eating faces. Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Right, right, right. I can't believe that wild animal went wild on me. Good grief. Well, you're an idiot. And now you need plastic surgery to fix your face. And again, I'm old, so it makes me think of Siegfried and Roy. That was the tiger, but still, the principle is the same. You're catching up. Cool beans, cool beans. Which, like, and I still feel bad because I think about Siegfried and Roy and I can't help but laugh. Because that was literally an SNL sketch, I swear. I saw that as a sketch. Eating faces reminds me of bath salt zombies. Yeah, there's that too. To be fair though, it's really less frightening when a leopard does it because again, that's the whole point of that meme is you almost expect them to. Not necessarily expect another person to do that. Eek. Kitty cat in with the black pilling again. What a dark, dark world you must live in. Driving me to drug use. No, that's a joke. It's part of the reason we're out here in the shed because then I have the freedom to smoke and chill and, say whatever I want. And that light is just blinking. That's driving me crazy. Stupid solar, lawn lights that are 5 years old and we're just blinking. Okay. Bye-bye. Always got to things to another level. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Oh, it makes for a fun chat, though. It really does. It really does. And this hat is not sitting right today. I don't know why. It doesn't want to sit up there correctly. I feel like it looks funny today. I don't know. Excuse me. And now it's overcast again. Makes me look like I have a profile. That's kind of fun. Fun fact, I do not actually have any. You see how any real discernible profile? I don't really have one. You love overcast? Yeah, no, I do. It's beautiful. It's always beautiful. Outdoors is always beautiful, but it's more along the lines of the sun was making it warm in here. It's not cold, mercifully. I do wonder about December and January. I don't know. We might have to go inside. Elon laid off 1,000 people in his electrical car department right before Christmas because of Donald Trump hating electric cars, I guess. That guy is just such a dick. To have such an enormous chip on your shoulder, to have such an enormous axe to grind in the world, I don't get it. Don't do weird drugs disguised as legal products. Don't keep wild animals. Life lessons from the she shed. Yes. Rock and roll. Oh my gosh. Now Elon did it to save money. Either way, that guy is just a irredeemable dick. I didn't approve of the way he spends his money. Okay, like, I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Chill. Chill. I don't know. Maybe when you feel like you have the opportunity to remake the world in your own image, like, it just gets to you. I don't know. He's the richest man for a reason. He's always been pulling that shit. No, I know. I know. I know. And I don't get it. I never will, I suppose. And I don't know that I really want to. I don't know that I really want to deeply understand a guy like that. It's frustrating because, you know, compensating for insecurities is effective and can make you a very effective actor in the world because you're constantly propelled to improve yourself because nothing is ever good enough. So yeah, eventually you can get pretty far with that. But like, that's what that screams to me. Like, that man is just Elon is the poster boy for the concept that money doesn't make you cool. Yeah. Yeah. That's so true. And it really just looks like he's walking around doing every damn thing he can to convince himself that he's the coolest guy on earth. That's what I get off him. That's my basic read of him. I could be totally off because I've never met the guy. I don't know him. I don't know Elon Musk, shockingly. But that's my read on that guy. Which is a weird compulsion. That's weird to me. All facts. Thanks. It's like, we get it, dude. You're mega cool. Please go home. Please go home. We will dub you the king of cool if you will just chill the fuck out. I swear. I don't know. Maybe to him, that's what being the king of cool means, is being in everybody's fucking business. Oh. But then him buying Twitter didn't make any sense to me. That didn't make any sense to me. That seemed like a step backwards for him. Mr. I'm going to populate the world with electric cars and super satellites and shit. Did y'all know that his little starfish jump is meant to look like an X? So I didn't look super into that. I saw the image and went, ha, you know. So what I'm hearing is that was not just his exuberance taking hold of him. That was him actually deliberately doing something choreographed. That perhaps he had practiced in front of a mirror. Stop the presses. That's so much funnier. Oh my god. He's so gross. Yeah. No, but that info is valuable to my funny bone. Yes! Oh my god. That is so much funnier, y'all. Oh my god. And it still didn't occur to him to wear a longer shirt. Oh my god. On the other hand, standing next to Donald Trump, anybody looks like the paragon of vitality, right? She's like, so funny, so cringe. Oh my god, yeah. And naturally, I'm telling everyone when making fun of me, like, oh yes, and thank you. I shall continue to share the joy on that one. I can't wait to tell my husband. That's, oh my god. And he's still the richest man on earth. Okay. Does that I feel like that demonstrates right there that it's not a meritocracy. Oh, hello. Have you heard the good news? Yeah. Oh my God. That info is delightful. Yes. We must all spread the good news over the holiday weekend. Oh my God. He's bound to come up at some point during Thanksgiving, right? So now we all have a little. I don't know. It's not a conversation starter so much as a conversation capper, right? Like that's the punchline to whatever that conversation is. It's great. It's great stuff. We always have so much fun. We got about 15 minutes though, and as you've seen, I am in high demand. Everybody's home for Thanksgiving break this week, which is why we're not really alone. It's funny. Everybody's home but my husband today. So say la vie, the kids can hang out in the house for 3 hours. It's fine. 18 is home from school, 16 is in there, so 7 is totes fine. And my sister's in there, and she's 20. Not to mention my mother-in-law, who's old enough to be my mother. So I don't know why I feel like I need to justify these things. Yes, I do. Obviously, I do, because I judge myself, motherhood and all that. You never do enough. But anyway. Yeah, that's what I was going to say as far as the book. I keep getting distracted. Because the next scene I'm working on is complicated. So I'm really glad that I have next week to sort of focus on that. No offense to you guys, but this bi-weekly schedule is really working out for me so far. I hope you guys are liking it. I hope it's not too confusing for anybody. I know that kind of shit used to really throw me when I was younger. But anyway, where I need at least 3 things to happen simultaneously. One of them is the straightforward action in the scene, which is the tutor is giving the pupil a quiz, like out in the field, right? And then there's at least 3 things really that need to go on underneath that, which is that the character is bored by the quiz. Because she's a quick study with this stuff. And consequently, she's thinking about a letter that she received and something that her dad said the other night at dinner. One of which I'm going to have her bring up in conversation, which is what her dad said. And the other, I'm not. But a friend of hers asked her to collect pine cones, so that's what she's doing. She's going along and just sort of surreptitiously pocketing, pine cones. And this needs to be, I feel like that description was really boring. It needs to be less boring than that. And obviously we gotta put more, scenic descriptions in there, because really, really trying to paint this location, like, oh my God, you guys, I need to go to England. This is so frustrating. But I'm doing my best. I don't know. The first time through, I had more fun with it because I wasn't trying to be so exact about it, And I said, I renamed the place. Nobody's ever going to figure out what it is. Like, yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. There's a couple of defining features of this location that anybody who knows anything about that kind of thing is going to go, oh, that's that. Like, yeah, no, they are. Eventually, anybody who gives a fuck will figure out the location it's based on. And I just can't wait to be told how wrong I am. So, Or judged for my use of it or whatever. I don't know. And it's just Romania? No, England. No. It's not in Romania. That would be even more. Then, I'd have to do a lot more research on like local culture and geography then. But no, it's just England. So, when I say Victorian, that's what I mean. Although I've gathered that that's not necessarily what that means. Some funny noises coming from outside, y'all. No, but the location is really what inspired me in the first place. So again, some of these details are just, most of them really are just not negotiable. But I gave it a different name, Well, I just took a wild stab in the dark without any reason for it. Hey, But no, just England. So we don't have to do it like, and stuff comes up. I watch a lot of like writing advice videos and whatever, and stuff pops up, and I'll see just the titles, and I don't watch most of them because a lot of them I don't think are applicable. But like, that's something that they advise against, is giving your fantasy characters funny names, which, setting the story in 19th century England really took care of most of that. So, we have a Jane, we have an Anne, we have, those are probably the two most generic sounding of the group. There's actually a tertiary character called Sarah, which I think is hilarious. I was going to guess Madagascar next. What even language do they speak in Madagascar? Genuine question. Boy, I have 10 minutes. Go back in the house. Why are you coming over here? I said go back in the house. What? What? My coat rack fell down? Well, go stand it back up and close the door.
I can't.
Then go close the door.
Well, I did try.
Thank you. I will come and deal with it in 10 minutes. Thank you. I must have unbalanced it before I left the room. Go close my door. And I will come and deal with it in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Malagasy and French. Right on. Right on. I'm sure that many an interesting tale could be set in a place like that. That was just not my location. That's just not what I don't know. I didn't choose Victorian England because it's superior or something like that. It's kind of bizarrely universal at least in like modern American culture. Like, you say Victorian England and everybody knows exactly what to expect. It's almost like a genre unto itself. And I'm sort of playing with some of the conventions of that genre. It's interesting. Not too sure on the language of Madagascar, but I do know they are home to the cutest things, ring-tailed lemurs. Ooh. Well, now that would be a reason right there. That sounds like a different novel. No, and I just had this realization this morning where I was thinking about a scene from the second book and realized that it plays into this overarching symbolism that I'm developing in a way that I did not realize when I wrote it 2 fucking years ago. I truly cannot wait to hear other people's analysis of this thing, right? It's going to be so interesting. It's going to tell me stuff about me, right? Oh my God. Yes, ringtail lemurs are definitely a plus. But that's just a different novel, sadly, than the one I'm writing. And I have to get this one done before I can do anything else. I've heard tell that other authors will, sort of round robin their novels and be sort of writing simultaneously various aspects of different not books. And I don't know how you could do that, man. This lives in my head constantly. And, if I don't get a chance to work on it for a while, I start to go a little batty. Because it just keeps writing. It just keeps work. It just, the work just keeps on. I have to just, it's fun. Round robin. Yeah, no. There's actually a fairly, I've seen this in some advice, actually, that you should do this, where, maybe you'll have one story in development while you're outlining and researching another one, while you're actually writing a third one, and possibly even editing a fourth one, so like this week you'll do that, and the next week you do this, and sort of, so you're never bored, basically. I'm never bored. Almost never. Very seldom am I bored. So, that's not a problem that I have, I guess is what I'm saying. Focus is a problem that I have. And you can see why. That sounds stressful. Yeah, that's what I thought. But, I guess some people also have new idea syndrome where they get bogged down in the details of one and go chase after a new idea before finishing the first one. They'll be like, oh, the new idea is shiny and beautiful. And, so it's sort of a way of managing that, and maybe forgiving yourself for wandering away story of your life. Yeah. It's very relatable. Like I say, this idea just fell essentially fully formed in my lap a couple of years ago, almost 3 years ago now. And that's just what it is. And now I get to write this and finish it and then move on from there. Sounds like ADHD. The people who don't finish their stories, or my lack of focus. I blame my lack of focus on being constantly surrounded by other people who want my attention. Yeah. And when and if that ever becomes not true, we'll see. Both. Yeah, right. That's so not me. I couldn't come up with one idea for a story, let alone multiple. Yeah. And it's I'm not going to say I've not had any other ideas since I've been working on this one, but it goes deeper, I don't know. Like I say, there's a lot of theme and symbolism worked into it, and it's all the same stuff we talk about on the channel, and all the social issues, all the feminism, and all the history and metaphysics, even, because hello, it's a fantasy novel. All that stuff is in there, so you could look at it as a way of me working through all this junk in another way. But yeah, so no, I don't have that problem of wandering away from story ideas. That's never been an issue of mine. I used to write short stories as a kid, and I've always just been a finish this before you start. I don't know. That's just not a problem I have. I don't know. And maybe somebody who has that bad habit of wandering away, maybe they need to manage it, that way. Maybe that works for some people. I've heard it. Like I say, I've seen it given as just advice, general advice. I don't think it would work for me. But that's because I'm already juggling half a dozen other things too. Who knows? But no ringtail lemurs though. Well, next time maybe. Yeah, man, next time maybe. Who knows? I don't know what my next project is going to be after this. I start to get a little overwhelmed just even thinking about publishing options right now. Much less whatever's after that. I'm not super worried about it. And open to suggestions. Not sure what don't really know anything about Madagascar except it's an island off the coast of Africa. Oh, and there's a movie by that name, I guess. It came out when I was an adult, so I've never seen it. I want to say it's DreamWorks, though, right? And apparently pretty funny. I don't know. But so, yeah, that's the main thing I'm going to be working on this week is that scene, that complicated scene. And if I plan them well enough, they tend to just kind of gel together as I write it, you know? This one has several disparate elements, though, that I want to weave together, and well, and one of them, what her dad said at dinner, is a reference to a novel that I need to describe sufficiently for the reader to understand what is going on and what is being referenced. Oh, you got to go? Okay, bye. Have a good week, honey. I got to go in a minute myself. But I don't want to give a synopsis of this fucking book in dialogue or in internal monologue. I need to describe it well enough. And I've already done it twice with 2 other books, you know, because that's fun. And putting it in the real world allows me to like have the character read a book and we walk through it with her, you know, and I describe her experience of it well enough for the reader to get what book she's reading. And then I get to borrow some of the symbolism from those other famous stories. And it's just so much fun. Just, you know, world building elements essentially is what it is. And it ties it in to the real world because so far the 2 books that I've referenced are Little Women and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, which are both familiar to most people. So, yeah. They're both, you know, culturally relevant and deal with a lot of the same themes, interestingly enough, from very, very different angles. The female protagonist has a lot to do with it, I think. Oh, stay bitter. Yeah, you too. I didn't even see that. That's great. Oh, but yeah, I got to go too, and happy all to split, I think. So, have a good couple weeks, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy December. And I will be back with, you know, a hard-hitting rebuttal to some Christian nationalists. You take it easy too, Warlord. See you next time, Joe. Good to see you too, honey.